The ShoreTel Enterprise Contact Center is among the most exciting new voice over IP applications to hit the market in quite some time. Many of you out there have asked about ShoreTel Contact Center report generation, and in this video clip, that's exactly what we're going to talk to you about. In this video training clip, we're going to take a look at ShoreTel Contact Center reporting. We're going to do this in three quick parts. Part one, we're going to talk about historical reporting. That's where we pull up data that has been captured by the contact center and stored for future analysis. We'll show you how to create a new report, save reports for public or private viewing, schedule a report for auto generation and printing. In part two, we'll take a look at real-time reports. I'll show you agent monitoring and other real-time information. In part three, we'll take a look at the exciting new interaction reports that you can obtain in ShoreTel Contact Center version 5. This is the famous cradle-to-grave reporting, and I'll show you some sample SQL queries for custom report generation. So stay tuned. From any agent monitoring a supervisor position, you should be able to hit Start, Programs, ShoreTel, Contact Center, and then go ahead and select Contact Center Reports. This will bring up the login screen, and you should have a supervisor account on the system previously established by the system administrator, and that will open up the ShoreTel Contact Center Report interface. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll find File, and here is the basic model that ShoreTel uses for reports. You can either open a report that you have previously created and saved, or you can create a new report. In this exercise, we're going to create a new report. So you will now see a list of templates that are predefined by ShoreTel to support the most popular report formats requested in the market. It's quite a library of reports. And let's select the agent by date report as an example. I'll go ahead and click OK, and what we're going to see here is a template. In this template, there are certain pieces of information that I'm going to need to inform the system so that it can go about collecting the data. At this point, I'm going to click on the white area in the template, and I'm going to select the agent that I'm interested in. I could select a group, but I selected one specific agent. Now I'm going to select the date. Now I have the option of saying a specific date and selecting it off the calendar, which I'm going to do here. But I also have the option of creating what we call a relative date. So if you check the now box and select now minus 7 days, it's going to give you, it's going to start the report from 7 days before the day you run it. This is very useful for creating scheduled reports. But in this case, we're just going to say we're using a specific range of dates. I'm going to start with the 16th of March, and I'm going to go to let's say the 27th of March, a 2-week period. I'm also going to indicate the time frames that I'm interested in. In this case, call center opens about 7 a.m. and it closes at about 6 p.m. So I'll go ahead and select 6 p.m. here. And at this point, our basic template time frames have been established for the agent that we're interested in. Remember, this is an agent by date report. In this area here, I have the option now of right-clicking on this white space and inserting a column. I'm going to go ahead here and create some columns of interest. And again, I'm bringing up quite a library of typical call center statistics. And I think I'd like to get some information about, let's say, the number of ACD calls presented to the agent. So I'm going to select that. Here you get quite a description of what that parameter ACD presented calls actually means. Count the ACD voice calls that ring the agent extension. So I'm going to go ahead and add that column. I think I'd also like to add ACD calls actually answered by the agent, how many were abandoned. ACD, let's see, some other, let's take the average ACD hold time, the ACD average talk time, and you can just continue to go ahead and create data points that are specific to your interest in measuring agent performance. Here we may want to know the average ring time of an ACD abandoned call, average talk time of non-ACD incoming calls, that would be useful, average talk time of non-ACD incoming internal calls, average talk time of non-ACD outgoing calls. And so at this point we've created, close out of that, you can see that the template has been filled up with the various columns that we expressed interest in. So I can go ahead at this point and I can extend this out and add columns for the full width of the page. I also have the option of generating a tabular report or a graphical report. But the number of columns for a graphical report must not exceed 6. Tabular reports are basically what you're going to be most interested in. At this point, I've created my template, agent by interval, and I'm going to, at this point, go up under File and say Save As. And here is where I get an option of saving the report as public, meaning that the report will appear to any supervisor that can access reports. Or I can make it only appear under my login by declaring it to be a private report. And I'll just call this agent for the week 3/16, since we used a very specific date. And I'll go ahead and save that as my private report. So we'll go ahead and hit OK. And at this point, I can go up under Reports and hit the Generate tab. At this point, we're going to go out into the database and we're going to pull up this data. Ben's a busy little boy here. He had 79 ACD calls presented to them. 72 he answered. 2 were abandoned. His average hold time, the average talk time, etc. So this is quite an interesting report. I've already saved the template. One of the things that we can do when we generate a report is also to schedule a report. So I can go in here and say, I'd like to see this report every Monday. Now keep in mind, if this were truly being a scheduled report, I would not have selected a specific date. I only would have selected a relative date. So in the template setup, I would have said, you know, now minus 7 days. And this time, every Monday I would run this. It would give me the statistics for the previous Monday. And I can run this report every day if it's a relative term, so I'd get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. Or I can select a specific day of the week, a different, you know, every month. I can a specific date, a specific hour, and I can go ahead and store this information, and that report will spit out automatically on the attached printer, and all is goodness. So this is just an over simplification, an over quick view of contact center reports. The reports all work this way. Select your template, select your columns of interest, save your template as either public or private, and then go ahead and generate that report. Maybe you want to create a schedule for future publication. That's just a quick overview of historical reports in the Enterprise Contact Center.